4 months ago, I tried shrooms for the first time because I thought my life was pretty boring. Drugs, why not? Thought I'd spice up my life a little bit, you know? This video is just pretty much gonna be me talking about my shroom experience in a less literal sense and more of, I guess, me just reading more into things rather than just kind of leaving it there with that one video talking about what I saw. And this video is gonna be more about like what I fucking learned. I didn't learn anything that I already didn't know. I kind of just more fully understood everything that I already knew. You know how you'll see random quotes on social media, like, let me Google them actually, because I don't fucking know any out of my head. How you love yourself is how you teach others to love you. Or life isn't about finding yourself, life is about creating yourself. Well, actually, I kind of like this one. The world is a book and those who do not travel only read one page. But corny ass shit like that. They're inspiring for a while and then you go back to that place of like being unmotivated and it's this cycle. It's like we all know these things, but we don't stick to them. However, after this trip, all those corny ass quotes, all those things that we know but we just don't do or don't push ourselves to do, all of that just got stuck in my brain. Like it's engraved into my brain somehow. I don't know how else to explain it. That's the best way I can explain it. Maybe it might not make sense, but it's like that motivational feeling that you get after you walk out of you know those people that show up to your school and just give a motivational speech and then you feel like, yeah, I'm gonna get work done today. That's what I feel like, but it's in my brain, like permanently. It feels like, at least. It's just taken me so long to even talk about this because it's so overwhelming. But this didn't like wake me up suddenly and make me strive to do more work, strive to do, like, it didn't do that. It kind of like stunned me in a way, and I wasn't able to work and do all that stuff because I was so like shook up by it. Conveniently, before I took my shroom trip, I made a video on my channel called I Just Want to Escape. And well, I fucking escaped, okay? So during the trip, I thought I made these discoveries, but these discoveries that I had were things that I already knew. It was knowledge I already had. It just put it all into like more of a visual thing that I still can't really describe, but it just made shit more real. But I'm gonna go back inside right now because people are coming out and it's really hot, to be honest. For a long time, I never really took life seriously. I was almost excited. Well, excited isn't the word, but I was looking forward to seeing what happens after death. But I didn't fear death. I had this curiosity of, I'm excited to see what happens after death rather than like living in fear of it all the time. Instead of looking at it as something sad or scary, because I tend to, as corny as it is, I tend to like to look at the brighter side of shit instead of having this fear of the unknown. If I had to give this trip a title, I would probably name it Living in Infinity, because during this trip, it brought me to a place that I thought I died, and I unlocked this place in my brain that shows you what happens after life, and I hated it. And I regretted every minute of my life that I had that feeling of excitement of death, thinking that I would get a clear answer of what happens after you die. But I think people believe that when they die, you will like finally know what happens. And I think when we die, we're still gonna be confused as fuck. You know how when people say when they die, they want to be able, or when they get old, whatever the saying is, when they get old, they want to be able to look back at their life and remember all the good times, the happy times, all those memories. Well, this place that it brought me, it didn't matter if you lived an amazing, happy, adventurous life or if you lived a miserable, sad life. Like it didn't matter, because either way, it was over. You're either sad because you're looking back at all those happy memories and you're sad that you can never experience it again, or you're sad looking back at those memories because they just weren't good. And I know that if I gave you guys this option, if you were in this place that I was, you would probably choose to still live a happy, adventurous, fun, loving life and be sad in the end, rather than living a miserable life and then still being sad, whatever. It's so confusing and so sad in that place that you need a reason to feel the way that you do while you're there. So having that miserable life and unhappy life, it was just something like comforting to know that you had a reason to feel that way, because you were gonna feel sad anyway. Usually when I'm bored, I can find something to do, like watch a YouTube video, make a YouTube video, read a book, listen to music, whatever. I'll find something to do. But now when I'm bored, I continuously just get way too deep into thought. Keep getting in my own head of like telling myself that there's something wrong and that I have some type of problem. And then I just keep peeling back these layers of myself of like, who are you? What do you want to do? What are you doing with your life? And who are you as a person? And it's like, obviously when I keep doing that, I'm going to reach a dead end. And then when I reach that dead end, I'm convincing myself that I have no personality and there's something wrong. When the only problem is that I think that there's a problem. There's really no problem. And then I get into this mindset of everything we do as humans is a distraction until we die. And yes, that's true, but I also don't have to look at it that way. And I shouldn't be looking so deep into shit. Like, I'm 20, I'm living my life, who fucking cares? Like, don't take life so damn seriously. I keep telling myself that.
The fuck? Like, why? Literally why?
I think everything we do as humans is a distraction from being in our own thoughts. I think that's why we live the way we do. It's like a video game. Every year is a new level with new challenges, like going through school, getting a job, paying off debt, having a family. All of that are distractions, because imagine all of that wasn't there. If you accomplish everything you've ever wanted, what do you do after that? After a while, it would feel like solitary confinement, because you've seen and done everything. I'm not saying all challenges are a good thing. Like, I don't want the challenge of ever being homeless, but just don't take everything I say too literally, because I know that solitary confinement is not the same thing as being bored. I never used to think so deeply into all of this. I used to live more like in the moment. But anytime I do anything remotely fun, the second it's over, I get right back into that mindset of, well, that distraction's over. Now I have to focus on my problems. It wasn't until I started making this video that I was able to get out of this rut that I've been in for the past 5 months now, because I was looking at everything that I was doing as a distraction rather than doing whatever I wanted in the moment. I don't know whether taking shrooms was a good thing or not, because it only made me wish that I could get back to my mindset of not taking life so seriously. But I feel like I could have gotten to that conclusion a lot faster without have taken them. However, like I was saying earlier in the video, the thoughts and the mindset that the shrooms put me in, it got engraved into my brain. So although I may have been able to get into this mindset way faster without the shrooms, it wouldn't have stuck. It would have been that temporary feeling that I was talking about earlier. Before, I would probably have this mindset of, okay, don't take life seriously, just do whatever you want. But then out of nowhere, the stress comes and I'm like, what am I doing? What am I gonna do? Like, and I just stress myself out for no reason, and it's this whole cycle. Whereas now it's just kind of like stuck with me of like, okay, well, there's no reason to stress. Even if there is, there's no point of stressing over it, because stress doesn't solve anything. And I've kept that mindset for this entire, like, since the shroom trip, which is why, again, I say that it's like now engraved into my mindset or my thinking now. And like I was saying before, this is why I say it's a less severe version of PTSD, because anytime I get too deep into my own thoughts, because I'm not saying that I don't go there still in my mind, whenever I do, it's like I get these flashbacks of the feelings that I had in that shroom trip, and I hate it. That was a horrible trip. It was a horrible trip, and I don't want to go back. And I get those flashbacks every time I go back into the mindset of worrying again. And so it's like if you're addicted to candy, and every time you reach for candy, say you have like a shock collar on, you just get shocked with it. So it's kind of like that. It's like every time I get back into my mindset of stressing out, I get flashbacks to my shroom trip, and I'm like right back out of it because I don't want to be in that place again. But I definitely don't regret it. I'd be open to like doing it again one day when I'm in a much better place. But I take less this time. I saw some of you in the comments giving me props for taking 3 grams, acting like I'm a badass or something. But nah, I'm just an uneducated dumbass that should have fucking microdosed. What really sucks is that I was coherent majority of the time, but I wasn't in control. And every time I would think my trip was over, it would just start back up again. And if I just took a little less, I feel like I could have enjoyed it a bit more maybe. After taking it, I felt like I was reborn, like a new person, aware that everything was completely the same. But it just felt like it, and towards the end of the trip, I had no idea if I was truly out of it. But it didn't seem like that, except for the fact that I had like sleep paralysis, which I've never gotten before. Like I couldn't if I was still stuck in the trip, and I had no choice but to piss myself, which I debated if I should have kept that in. But you know what, that's what fucking happened. I don't know what you want me to say. It was kind of scary. I had to go to sleep after that because my brain was not able to process all of that. It was just so much. The knowledge I chose to take away from all of this is just move forward. I stopped for a while creating shit, and I felt like I was moving backwards, but I also felt like I was stuck in this rut. But now I've made a conscious decision to move forward and stop looking back. I feel a bit happier, and I feel like that's just something I have to keep in mind when I go back to that place of like nothing matters. That way, even when I have those sad days, it's easier to keep it pushing than to just sit inside this. Shrooms did a lot for me. I don't know, it did change the way I look at a lot of shit, but it didn't change my mindset towards anything. It just improved a lot for me, but it did, I feel like maybe it caused me to go down this route of like really nothing matters, and for a while I just wasn't creating any content because I felt like everything that I did just did not matter. It didn't matter in the end. But now I'm slowly getting out of that, and the only way to move past that is to just continue what I was doing before. Keep pushing, keep making my videos, keep doing whatever I want at the moment. Because honestly, whether or not any of life matters, this is like, whether any of it matters, like at this point, it doesn't matter if it doesn't matter. Like, just live it, because you can't do anything about it. Can someone comment below why the fuck schools do this? Like, why you have to ruin the fun? I don't get it.
I promise you it gets way better. You'll be writing yourself letters. I promise you it gets way better. This is for real. Yeah, there's no rush now.